After what happened last week, President Jack Tully quick to book the rematch this Tuesday in Texas. We are in Texas. This is Tuesday.
I hear voices in my head.
Streets talk. Streets talk. Listen to me. What they saying? They told me J. Rhodes about the realest walking. Realest walking. My hood credit score about an 850. They label me as cool, but don't you play with me. Got vital information, but won't say any. The shit that I know going to the grave with me is gonna stay with me. I look outside my home and I see swangers and foes. I'm the big shit on these streets. This corner is my commode. Now I'm about to go in beast mode. Most taking the feast on your favorite rappers. Nice, you can't fuck with me though. Master chef with syllables, I chop it like a bistro. I want my style back, boy. About to call a repo. Easy like it's Geico, switch it like a free throw. Got a lot of backers, Von Miller 3-4. About to blow wood, kinda like I'm C4. Got them going crazy, but I am not CeeLo. Yeah, I'm going off what you think I made the beat for. Bit of beer face and this heat is the keystone. Burke Orange Range Rover, you can call it Bevo. Looking to my right, time piece in the seat, bro. And she's something nice, body mean, but she's sweet though. She's sweet though. She's sweet though. She might be mean to you, but to me she's sweet though.
That's the birthday boy, young J. Rhodes, Oak Cliff University, and that's the alma mater anthem for Oak Cliff University, entitled Oak Cliff University.
Make sure to pick up your merchandise immediately.
OakCliffUniversity.com, I believe, is the website.
.com.
Shouts out to Dinky on the beat with the cool merch. Before we get started,
and then give me one of them hoodies too.
Big shout one time to my big homie player partner, my guy Big Suge. He went home this morning. Miss you, love you, and I see you on the other side, my guy. Salute. Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company podcast.
Make sure
things are changing here at the Broken Pencil.
things are changing at the Broken Pencil.
Things are changing.
What's going on, man?
Well, I guess right around Mania season, we'll have to have some subtle changes added to the lineup here. I am Wood.
You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
Once again, we are the World 6-Man Tag Team Champions, if you didn't forget.
Dig that.
We have the Petty Messiah in the building, one more again.
Kicking people in the face.
Whoa. That got violent quick.
Yeah, no collar and elbow tie up.
Yeah, man, what a weekend. The last time we were here, last Tuesday in Texas.
Last time on the Broken Pencil Booking Company podcast.
We had some predictions and we had some shit talking going on because that's pretty much what we do here.
Did you happen to keep notes of our predictions? Because I sort of remember, but I sort of don't.
I believe if I pull up my handy dandy notepad here, all I have.
I got the card right in front of me. We can go through here, and I think everybody pretty much remembers who they picked for what.
I mean, shit got blown out of proportion. I mean, as far as the match for match predictions go, I think we were pretty good on that. If you want to go over the predictions, that's cool. We definitely need to go over the results.
We do.
But man, there is a lot of news. Not just like as far as like the winners and losers. We've had some news come out of the last couple of days.
I've been taking notes since Monday.
On news events?
Yeah, I just been jotting down notes since Monday on different things going on like my different opinions about what I've seen, different news that's popped up, and I'm gonna make sure I pull up some of these news stories.
This is probably gonna be one of the more off the cuff episodes that we've had, just because there's that much news. Just to get things out the way, I figure we start with NXT TakeOver Phoenix.
A masterful piece of work.
Still not it still doesn't have the luster of being the crown jewel of the WWE when every time they always outdo the time before it. This is no different.
My question is, and this is a serious question, and I want to meet someone who can answer it for me. Why is the work rate in NXT so different for TakeOver than a main roster pay-per-view?
The only way I could really say...
Who's putting the governor on the main roster talent? Because you know you have internet darlings and guys that can go, and you have people that can have those kind of matches, but no one is doing what's happening on NXT takeovers.
At all. At any level. And I mean, because, like, again, like, here we go. The first barometer we talk about when we talk about work rate is the length of the match. And if you think about it, we get all the talking in the weeks leading up to takeovers. All the talking and angles come up to the week on NXT TV on Wednesday nights on the WWE network. Or we get all the talking then. We get no talking at takeover. And sometimes for the casual fan who actually likes hard body, good wrestling, you're only going to get your takeovers, 4 times a year?
Right.
So in those 4 times a year, you're going to get 5 matches. And in those 5 matches, they're going to average 15, 20 minutes a clip.
Okay.
Your shortest match this week, or for this takeover, Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno, 9 minutes and 20 seconds.
And they did a hell of a lot with 9 minutes.
It was a lot. For a submission match, it ended up going, like, it didn't feel like 9 minutes. It felt fast and also felt long.
Pause. Pause.
Fucking guy.
Pause for station identification.
Work rate. The Undisputed Era in any combination kicking off an NXT takeover is guaranteed money.
The Undisputed Era and the War Raiders had a curtain jerker that could have been the main event, and no one would have been upset by that.
Tell me any Undisputed Era match that was a curtain jerker that could not have been a main event.
They're on a streak. Like their last, how many? 4 or 5?
5 at least.
5 straight title defenses.
With the exception of War Games, the last 2 War Games, because they were both in those.
Okay.
So if you take out the 2 War Games from 2018, 2017,
which were main events,
but
they've opened X number of takeovers.
The last 5 minus those 2.
Their last 5 title defenses, period, have been main event worthy.
And if you really want to count the NXT UK takeover, the first one where they had the UK tournament
with them against Mustache Mountain,
Mustache Mountain versus the UE, and that wasn't even the main event, and they still burned the house down.
You could have main evented most main roster shows with those matches, and everyone would have been fine going home that way.
Speaking of main event, Johnny Gargano versus Ricochet for the NXT North American North American Championship.
Yeah, there are no heavyweights in that match
at all.
Not a one.
Not even close.
You could put them together and get a heavyweight. Stack them on top of each other and get a heavyweight.
The man wants to say something.
Tape their ankles together and get a heavyweight.
Playing the role tonight, Randy Orton is the petty messiah.
He just laying in the weeds waiting to drop somebody on their face.
Kicking people in the face.
Oh, man.
Wham!
And I just... Gargano, I still don't know how I feel about him being a heel that thinks he's a face.
I love it.
Great angle, because it works for him.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know how I feel about him and Ciampa still being at odds, but being cool and having respect for one another.
I love it.
They stood at the top of the stage together, and reason why that's even a topic of discussion, Tommaso Ciampa in the main event defeated Aleister Black, who seems to be on his way to the main roster, probably set for a debut the day after WrestleMania. Will you stop coughing in my mic, please?
I turned to the side. It's just really loud.
The editing on last week's episode was crazy. You over here coughing up a lung.
Hey, man, don't blame me. Blame Mother Nature out here, bipolar and that with that bullshit.
Man.
Every time I try to do right.
And I don't know how this happened, and I don't know what they're trying to build for later, unless this is like a precursor as well for the 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen angle. But in the semi-main event, you had Shayna Baszler, the NXT Women's Champion, defeat Bianca Belair by what was labeled as a technical submission. and it was a decent match. Wasn't a great match. But I'm not really sold on Shayna Baszler. I get the realistic aspect of who she is and what she does. But I'm not sold on the idea of her making it in the E.
I feel like as an individual entity, she probably isn't main roster sustainable. But as a member of the group, the Four Horsewomen, she's an important cog in the wheel.
Now, one of them's about to leave, supposedly.
So we've heard. I don't necessarily know how much I believe that. Only because there's, $200 million at stake?
There's a lot.
There's a lot of money.
A lot of money at stake.
There's a lot of money to be thrown around. Like, put it like this: WWE is already spending out of this new cash blessing that they've been given by the Fox Corporation. There's money being thrown around. Fox has already publicly stated they want Ronda Rousey on SmackDown in 2019. We are several months away from that. However, we have a contract that's about to expire and a woman who wants to go live life. How much is pushing the pause button on family life worth for you right now?
Are we even sure that there is a 1-year contract? Are we 100% positive of that? I mean, how do we know it's not a 2-year or an open-ended contract similar to what like The Rock or Chris Jericho would have?
Kayfabe was a multi-year deal when she signed, but as far as reality, it was supposed to be like, hey, after WrestleMania, she's gonna go chill.
The last time we heard one of those multi-year deals was Bret Hart, and we saw how that worked out for him in the E.
Or like Brock Lesnar.
well, it seems like he's working day to day at this point. He's been for the last 2 years.
He working spot dates.
4 per year.
Vince just keep digging in that bag every time they get ready to move on and try. And this is what I wrote this down. I swear to God. Brock Lesnar is Vince's Andre.
He's a special attraction that you bring from the territory to come back and clean house for a second and send him back into hiding.
Ding, ding.
But we'll see how this works out after Mania, because I still think
Vince's new Andre the Giant, Brock Lesnar.
I still think we're going to get DC versus Brock at the in some form at SmackDown debut on Fox on Friday in the fall.
At this point, it makes a lot of sense just to have Brock have these dream matches without the championship. He doesn't need it. For what?
I agree. Would you like to add anything there, Petty Messiah?
I think he does need the belt. There's nothing about seeing Brock pass the novelty that I care for. Most fans don't care for Brock if he doesn't have the belt, unless he's chasing the belt. Like, Brock and the belt are synonymous. That's your champion. That's your champion you go with no matter what. If he's there, if he's not there, whoever it is, you go with Brock. He needs that belt, man.
That's a great point, and let's apply Broken Pencil Logic before we do that. Let's hit them with the hashtags. Broken Pencil Logic, Folk Life Shouted. Mark my words, you can't write this and with the shit. Come on, man.
Caller 10. The lines are open. If you have the 5th demandment, you win 2 ginger beers.
Broken Pencil BC on all things social at Broken Pencil BC. BrokenpencilBC at gmail.com.
You get hot chips and gin.
Seagulls. We're gonna bum rush Seagulls one day, and we're gonna cut a promo live at Seagulls, and we're gonna make somebody appreciate that shit.
Come on down to Seagulls.
We might go up there with a Sharpie written CD and say, "Hey, here's your commercial."
Wow, we like hot chips and gin. I need to get in there and record that for real. Then come on down to Seagulls.
So let's apply a little Broken Pencil Logic here.
Let's do it. That's why we're here.
Shoot.
Brock Lesnar without the belt. How do you sell it? Who's first, second, and third on the menu? The only person I know on the menu for sure without a belt is Daniel Cormier, and that's if he comes in. Outside of that, I got nothing. Who y'all got?
Well, I'll give you your storyline for it now. If and when Brock loses the championship, you know he's going to come looking for a rematch. At which point he's going to be given the explanation that automatic rematch clauses don't exist anymore. Paul Heyman gets to cut a promo. Somebody's music hits. That's how you get your first challenger. If you really want to do it, let's say he loses at WrestleMania and he comes out looking for a rematch. Me personally, I'm sending out Bobby Lashley.
So you're booking your own territory because I'm looking at my draft list here, my draft class, and
you got Brock, I got Lashley.
Yep, I was just looking at that. So do we get a switcheroo? Do we happen to do some cross breeding, or do we happen to do like some float back and forth with Brock? Like, does Brock get carte blanche to go back and forth as that legend?
Might as well.
I mean, I totally agree with that aspect of it.
You might as well give him the opportunity to show up on whatever show he wants to. Let him go anywhere he wants to do whatever he wants, because that's what he does now. If he wants to show up on SmackDown and elbow Randy Orton in the mouth, let him do it.
So most mileage, I got DC. You got Bobby Lashley. Who you got for the most mileage?
I can't see anybody he needs to fight. To tell you the truth, honestly, just him showing up with Paul Heyman in the back and them cutting promos, at least to start off, would be the best thing you can do. Anything else is just a waste of him fighting.
I actually feel like once you tell him that he can't have his rematch, he goes rogue and just decides to free agent jump back and forth from shows and to ruin title matches. Yeah, he can fight whoever he wants to, and then people can randomly, air quotes, step up to the plate to try to stop him, and that's where you get your matches from on pay-per-views or select shows. But let him pop up whenever he wants to, F5 somebody, ruin a title match, and leave.
That's history repeating itself, because that's exactly the same way he came in from OVW.
Ding, ding, ding. This isn't rocket science, bruh.
You just keep rehashing the same story in different years.
That's
Normally
it.
with different people, but you don't have to do it.
Because that's all we've been seeing the last 2-3 years anyway on Raw.
Because your days of seeing him on weekly television are over. You're only going to see him at the big 4 shows, maybe +1. So use these appearances wisely, because you can't just leave the Universal title on him forever. That's not the answer. You don't have a champion on Raw.
I got 2 more people I would like to see in this situation with Brock. The Joe we're getting right now is in a whole different bag than the Joe we got 2 years ago.
Man, Joe should have beat him at Great Balls of Fire, and I'm standing.
Totally agree.
I'm standing on that one.
It didn't happen, but if we had this Joe at Great Balls of Fire, I think the crowd would have been behind them way more than they were then. I think that might have been the catalyst for some type of change there. That's one. The other one, I keep bringing him up. I drafted him, and I'm waiting to see if or what they're going to do with him. Bray Wyatt.
Man,
I'm
not
32, 30. WrestleMania 32 was.
Hold on, let me hit that. Let me say you why.
Go ahead, get him.
When it comes down to Bray Wyatt, first and foremost, the person who should have broken the streak should have been Bray Wyatt.
Facts.
That's the problem that I have with
factuals.
Bray Wyatt right now in the WWE. Is number one, he didn't break the streak. So he
should have beat John Cena at WrestleMania if we really gonna keep going.
Bray Wyatt should be undefeated at WrestleMania, no matter who he's fighting. Because why? Because Bray Wyatt is the new Undertaker.
I agree.
And you have broken that mystique by having him take losses to people, and you've turned people who really like him, like me.
Well, he ain't the new Undertaker anymore. You got a better chance of Aleister Black being the new Undertaker once he debuts.
Right, because he'll have an undefeated streak. Like, Aleister Black will be undefeated coming into the WWE. You heard it here first. That's the way it's going to be.
That's broken pencil logic. That's a hell of a prediction right there. You definitely heard that here first. So Petty Messiah is saying Aleister Black is going to be the next undefeated streak holder,
undefeated
at WrestleMania.
Okay, I'll go a step further. His first victim,
Bray Wyatt.
Finn Balor as the Demon.
That's going to be 2020.
I want that now.
I would love to see a spot date with the Demon, with a new influx. But then you bury Finn again.
He's gonna end up beating.
Or is he bulletproof?
He's gonna end up he is bulletproof, but he is back to bum status after Sunday. Why did you put together a whole Believe campaign? You took Braun Strowman and further buried him under trash to substitute Finn Balor, only to have him tap out.
Well, I mean,
he's back to bum status.
He'll be fighting in the Seagulls parking lot.
Thank you. Thank you. We're going to set a ring up outside of Seagulls. We're going to be giving away hot chips
and gin.
And we're going to have a grand old time. But Finn Balor's going to end up beating Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental Championship. There's no rematch clause. Bobby Lashley will go on and probably end up winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Of course.
And then Finn Balor will have to defend against someone.
I'm just not sold on the fact that you have to get relegated to being the IC champion now. That champion used to mean so much. The last person I remember holding that title and actually meaning something.
Miz.
How do you want Miz brought it up. Cody. That's been years ago.
And that's because Cody re-debuted the classic.
The white strap.
The white strap.
Look at the white shoes.
Look at the white shoes.
It was great. When Cody re-debuted that one, I was like, yeah.
But I'm like, to me, that makes sense to end up like you debut Aleister Black. Well, we got 9 weeks, so yeah, you're probably not gonna get it. Never mind.
You're not gonna get him before.
You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it before. But in broken pencil logic, this is what I would do. I'd have Aleister Black up in the rafters like Sting during Finn Balor matches. You just show him. You don't say anything. Corey Graves can explain who he is. Then at Fastlane, Aleister Black shows up. Kicks the crap out of Finn Balor. We're on our way to WrestleMania.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so in lieu of the fact of everything that we've seen happen as of right now, R-Truth is our United States champion.
We've jumped the gun way.
We're booking though.
Did we finish Takeover?
We finished Takeover. Definitely finished Takeover. Yes.
So,
with the exception of the aftermath. That's leading up to what's going to happen this Sunday. Sunday. The return of Halftime Heat, a 6-man tag team match.
Look, me personally, I've been giving WWE a whole lot of shit for their piss poor management and piss poor planning. This is smart. I like this. I don't see any problem with this. And I'm going to tell you right now, the most over person coming out of Halftime Heat is going to be Velveteen Dream. He's the most different looking person on your screen on Sunday.
I hate the fact that he's being in a 6-man tag team match for a 1-match show.
You see Dream got hosed though?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He's the Godfather.
Did you see him get out the car? He
had hoes with him.
Yeah.
2 of them, and they sat by.
I hate to call him that, but
ladies of the evening.
I hate to call him that, but
lady escorts.
He had 2 female escorts.
So first I thought you said host, and then you said
no.
Never mind.
No, it was funny. Some of the promo business, they actually have braids, which is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Hoes in different area codes. Area codes. Hoes.
All right, so let me give you something here real quick. I just did some math. I'm looking at the time.
Are you sending it via Prime?
No.
Oh, okay.
What's happening?
None at all.
Just need to know if I need to be at the crib.
This guy's over here shameless plugging everything. I mean,
somebody gonna cut us a check.
This is how we get checks, but this guy's making it relentless.
Look, I'm trying to hotshot the territory. Hell, you mean? Give me, run me mine.
Just wait till we get Mark Lawrence. He gonna tell you about championship sports.
If you owe me, show me. Run me mine.
Give me my money. So
Birdman hand rub.
All right, so the Women's Royal Rumble match was 1 hour and 12 minutes this year.
It was entirely too long is what it was.
Now, considering that we got to a 5-hour run, with including the last hour of the Men's Royal Rumble main event.
See, that's the other thing that bothers me about main roster shows versus takeover. Takeover shows are usually like 2.5 hours.
Solid.
Never 3. Main roster shows are now like 4 hours.
I think they've only added 15 minutes since I started watching NXT takeovers. I mean, I remember like 2 hours and 15 minutes when Joe was in.
SummerSlam was 4 hours. Now, you got one of those type of matches with Rollins and Ziggler, a NXT takeover caliber match, but you're not getting that work rate with great consistency.
But you got that because it was an Iron Man match.
Which even further exacerbates my point. Why is NXT outworking the main roster so much?
Because
who put the governor on the main roster?
Nobody. I mean, the NXT
I think
works
the
that
old
way
man
because
did it.
it's the culture of NXT.
I think the old man was responsible.
I agree. I think the old man's responsible for it. I mean, we don't really know, because it could be a lot of chefs in that kitchen, but we know unequivocally who has the reins, and now we know two people that have a lot of control down in Orlando right now.
The two people with control in Orlando are all gung ho for this, but they like NXT. They wrestle like indie shows. They wrestle like high level indie shows.
It is an indie show.
Well, one of the two people that we're talking about actually trained high caliber indie wrestlers.
But you're under the WWE umbrella, so if you see this works on a smaller level, why not give your larger level, who is suffering from fan engagement, give them the opportunity to win back their hardcore audience with performing like that? You can give me the same trash storylines that your writers, dartboard and put together every week, but give me better in-ring product.
But can they perform like that? That's the real question that we get to.
Name.
You would think that they would, because at one point in time, even if they never went through NXT, they at least went through FCW.
Yeah, but FCW was nowhere near the caliber of what NXT is right now.
You had Ambrose.
It's a completely different aspect when you look at NXT. NXT in itself is not a development league at all. It's not a farm league. It's not a development league.
Absolutely.
It's nothing like OVW
it's its own territory.
FCW.
And truth be told, I wish they would give the talent who is not on TV a different name besides NXT.
Well, it's WWE ROH. Like, I've said that before. And that's what it is.
On the cool.
Like, and it's winning.
But even like the difference between NXT Shinsuke Nakamura and SmackDown Shinsuke Nakamura.
There is a difference in the producers of those segments.
So there are some agents who need to go on the greener pastures.
True indeed.
Or just pick up a different aspect.
They're not using a playbook from the indie standpoint. Like Doc Hendricks. I mean, we all know who I'm talking about.
They running
Michael Hayes, man.
Hayes.
They running.
I love calling him Doc Hendricks. Like Michael Hayes is not going to check into the ROH aspect of it. You know what I'm saying?
So
he can appreciate great wrestling.
So here's an idea.
Can he?
So here's an idea.
Or is he disconnected from having the same job for so many years and not having to change the formula?
That'd be a question we have to ask him.
Straight up and down.
So here's an idea for you. So who facilitates a draft or like a shakeup between the creatives?
Who facilitates that?
Yeah.
I don't think you do that. I think you fire.
Why not?
Because they don't.
I think firing would help, especially those who come from like a soap opera background, because you don't know pro wrestling, you don't know sports
entertainment.
I didn't
want Freddie Prinze Jr. writing stories, but he did it.
He wasn't that bad at it though.
And here's the thing. That's what the look is. Like, I can go it's an episodic television show. We got to keep bringing it back to that.
Fuck the casual fan.
I get it. You can feel that way all you want to, but they're not going to change that mindset. We got to beat Bonanza, fam. We got to beat Bonanza. And that's what they're doing. So when we look at that, the writers are not writing from hey, you know what, sports entertainment, or from a sports standpoint, what's really exciting? NXT. They're not writing like that. They're writing, how do we get from point A to point B without pissing off Vince?
That can't be. So what happens when he goes on to Glory?
Because he will. And that's when you see work rate come back into play. And you want to know who takes over?
Well, we know who takes over, but you still have to keep in mind the one thing that we have on Mondays and then by then Friday nights that we don't have on Wednesday nights, commercials.
True. That's the true state. And NXT might not suffer from that because it's on the network.
Weekly NXT is booked like old school wrestling. They book like old territory. It's like watching NWA or it's like watching World Class Wrestling.
Yeah.
So weekly NXT is completely different. I just mean takeover. Put people in the ring and let them perform.
You know what the problem is? And it's not a problem. Takeover is booked like old school pay-per-views with new school wrestling. Like, it's booked like there is a feud. This feud will be finished tonight. And then we will do something else next week. And for the next 3 months.
When is the last time we've seen a cage match that wasn't War Games on NXT?
Joe and Shinsuke.
How far back was that?
Or was that Joe and Balor?
I think it was Joe Balor, but that was 3 matches. But speaking of Joe and Shinsuke, if I'm not mistaken, because Joe and Balor both held the NXT belt twice, right?
Right. Which, you don't get repeat champions a lot. They're the only 2 that have held it twice. You don't get a lot of repeat champions. That's another great thing.
Yep. Even on the tag team scene. I mean, you had Ascension had it for a year.
You get lengthy title reigns. You don't get a lot of multiple champions.
True indeed.
And I want to say that the UE is only 2-time tag team champions. Mm-hmm. And if they're not, I know it was
they
Revival.
Switched out.
The Revival was
fighters.
2 times.
They didn't switch out. They didn't lose the belt. Remember?
Do you know what it must feel like to be the Revival and be on Raw and realize what's going on in NXT? Like, you could still be wrestling the Undisputed Era
on a very high level. And speaking of that, where's AOP? They have gotten worse treatment
in catering.
They have gotten worse treatment
but,
than.
they should have never been called up from the beginning.
Well, who's at the Ascension? They've gotten worse treatment than the Ascension. Let's go back real quick, back on task. I was looking at doing some numbers. So
it feels like we're ganging up on WWE. Let's
as we
do what you're doing. They've earned this. They've earned this.
No,
you earned
taken behind the woodshed and beat.
To quote the great straight shooting Stevie Ray. We do this because suckers gots to know.
Suckers needs to know.
Ball head, knock kneed, fruit booty.
So
that's how I feel.
So the women's Royal Rumble match was 1 hour and 12 minutes.
My laptop just died.
Do you feel or did you feel the same way I did, that for some reason like the match seemed to go way faster? The men's match seemed to go way faster than not just the women's match this year, but other men's Rumble matches in past.
Yeah, it felt like it was rushed. It felt like they spent so much time trying to flesh out the women's Rumble that you ended up with a certain amount of time. Because we talked about it even when Balor Lesnar started. We were like, look at what time it is. It's like 9:27. The show's not supposed to go off the air until 10:30.
Right.
So we were like, okay, Balor Lesnar's gonna be 15-20 minutes max.
So I'm under the guise of thinking that the first segment between Elias and Double J did not count towards the total time of this match.
It was planned for that to be a long segment.
I get it, but from the time the bell rang, which is what I'm looking at on Wikipedia,
right,
57 minutes and 35 seconds, which means from the time number 3 hit the ring to the time the last person got in the ring,
it felt rushed.
It was 42 minutes.
It felt incredibly rushed.
I mean, it was.
And with some of the people you had in the Rumble and the way they ended up getting eliminated, it made it look sort of cheap. Like Lashley doing a 12-second elimination, Kurt Angle getting a pretty quick elimination.
Well, I wasn't why that was. We can tell why Kurt got eliminated. So here's the thing.
And he was a sub.
Yeah. We just found that out.
Which I didn't read the reason behind it. I just know that if you're gonna put Kurt Hawkins in there, regardless of how you use him, Zack Ryder deserved to be in there because Zack Ryder has been in catering for far too long. Matter of fact, not far too long. It's been a year.
Well, the reason that was given in that Bleacher Report article said that they felt like Kurt Angle would get a bigger pop.
And he did.
He did.
He did. I mean, he did.
He did.
It's Kurt Angle. What the hell do you think?
It's just, I don't know what they're doing with Kurt Angle. I almost feel like he's about to do the Ric Flair retirement angle. Like the next time he loses, he's done.
He is. And
wasn't that the Shawn Michaels angle though?
The next time he loses, he's done. No, that was career versus street.
Yeah,
big difference.
That was
no. The year HBK ended up going against Flair. If I'm not mistaken, that's when he was JBL's flunky, leading up to Mania. But which gave HBK
because of his financial problems.
Yes.
Yeah, we had to look that up. I don't know if those are all the same.
That is the same year.
It is.
That's the same year, man.
Okay. But Flair's angle is completely separate because Vince McMahon told him next time you lose, you're retired.
Yeah.
So he went on a win streak.
Like a real win.
Like a real run.
Where it got to the point where we were like, oh crap, please don't lose.
and it all
emotionally invested.
And then they said, hey, guess who you got to fight? Shawn Michaels.
And then the room went, ugh.
Oh shit. when we look at let's
back up.
What you got?
Looking at a dark match, Scott Dawson and Razor were defeated by Bobby Roode and Chad Gable.
Huh?
This like it was a pre-show. Not even a dark match. It was a pre-show match.
None
Look
of
at the
us saw
stiff
this.
show. Look at the stipulation.
Had Dawson and Razor won, both Revival and ALP would have received Raw Tag Team Championship matches.
Nice.
What kind of stupid shit is that?
Hey, we got to get everybody paid.
It ended in 6 minutes and 55 seconds with Rude and Gable going over, and no one gave a shit.
Go directly to hell.
People got to get paid, baby.
Don't stop. Don't pull over at the gas station. Don't hit a rest stop. Go straight to hell.
Two pure travesties. Shinsuke Nakamura defeating Rusev for the U.S. title.
I kind of like that.
That was a great match. Great, quick match. Great match overall, though. And then you had Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy.
Defeating Akira Tozawa, Deo Itami, and Kalisto in a fatal four-way for
And he
the
pinned
Cruiserweight.
Tommy. He pinned my pick. Like, what is going on?
I picked Buddy Murphy.
Tommy
I
been
think
carb.
I picked Buddy Murphy as well.
I picked Buddy Murphy. I remember
Buddy
that.
Murphy.
Tommy been carb loading though. I don't know what's going on, bro.
I think we lost on the Rusev thing though, because I think we all picked Rusev because there was no reason for Shinsuke to win.
It really wasn't any reason for it.
Especially after what we saw tonight, Tuesday in Texas. Asuka versus Becky Lynch. We knew immediately.
I picked Asuka.
I picked Asuka too. We knew immediately.
I had Becky
We knew immediately.
because I thought
telegraphed.
they might try to do champion versus champion.
I knew they were going to give her the Royal
That would
Rumble.
have been so much better doing champion versus champion. But we knew immediately that somehow, some way, Asuka was going to defeat Becky Lynch.
That was a hell of a submission. Bully Ray actually said something that made sense. Said Becky shouldn't have tapped. She should have passed out.
Agreed. I heard that too. I agree.
Stop trying to turn this woman into Stone Cold Steve Austin.
But keep in mind that was 20 years ago.
The woman's
Kids don't
over.
Remember that? Actually, 22 years ago. Kids don't remember that. Well, a lot of kids weren't even alive for that.
No one said she had to bleed. Just pass out instead of tapping out.
And let me tell you something. I don't care who you are. People were talking about how fast she tapped. You get your neck torqued like that with an arch from the person that's giving it to you.
Go back and
you're
watch
gonna
it.
tap fast too.
It made Oscar look like a killer.
Asuka is a killer.
Finally, someone is recognizing her greatness.
We keep sweeping Asuka under the rug because everybody wants to cheer for Becky Lynch.
Yakuza
Like
boss.
Asuka can't kick you in the face and break your orbital bone.
Hey, look. Becky wasn't responsible for Oscar's 2018.
I'm just saying.
No.
She was not.
At all.
Like y'all keep sleeping on Asuka.
If anything,
undefeated.
If
forever.
anything, Asuka was partially responsible for Becky's 2018.
Yeah, I was one of the more angry people when Oscar lost to Charlotte.
I was still pissed about that.
I
I'm still pissed about
I was pissed about her hopping in a tag team with Naomi, and I like Naomi.
Nah, I did like that.
I didn't want to see Asuka do that.
But it didn't. I liked it, but it didn't matter to me if you weren't gonna have tag titles for them to.
That's my point. You're relegating them to have that. Put them on TV for the sake of saying, "Hey, you're good."
You put them together because they wear bright colors.
You put them together.
It pops
'cause you
in- it pops in
want them to
4K.
fight each other.
Kids like them. They look good in HD.
It pops in 4K, yes sir. The Miz and Shane McMahon defeat the Bar.
Don't care.
Yeah. And Shane. Now I will say, Shane's shooting star press was actually picture perfect.
That was cool. It wasn't Billy Kidman.
Yes,
level, but
care. Oh,
Care.
there's only one kid.
It wasn't even Mark Marrow level.
Oh,
Hey, y'all gonna act
He
like
didn't keep his legs together.
man is
y'all gonna act
49
like
years
Matt Sydal
old.
ain't out there
Congratulations.
dropping off shooting star presses.
Congratulations, famo.
You didn't die.
Please don't die. Please don't die. Great job.
Ronda versus Sasha. We knew Ronda was winning.
Match of the night.
First of all, how did Sasha have the exact same exit that Becky did? Like, wait, go down the ramp, cry, wait, go down the ramp. And then I just knew Sasha was about to hand Ronda her shit.
There's something to that.
Turn.
Well,
that's the story.
I think that was the fuse.
It was good storytelling.
I think that was the fuse going into the bomb that is going to be the 4 versus the 4.
Right.
You know what's funny?
I think that's your SummerSlam.
I hate to bring people forward, but I feel like Bayley should have done the same thing.
No, I get where you're going with that. I get where you're going with that.
I feel like every time Ronda turns around, there should be a 4 in her face. Like every time.
But she's beating all of them.
Doesn't matter.
I think
even better.
I think
that makes WWE's 4 horsewomen look like trash.
That makes WWE 4 horsewomen look like they really gonna hurt this girl in a minute. And mark my words, they're gonna cost her the match at Mania.
Then you're gonna see all 8 horsewomen at WrestleMania in the final.
I think you're just gonna see the 4.
So we can't
leave because the horsewomen.
Sure. Hold on. So we got the Rumble, we got Mania, we got SummerSlam. Now you think it's going to happen at SummerSlam, right? The 4 versus 4.
Yeah,
it has to.
Or
no, I got one better place than that.
Survivor Series. Survivor Series is where it should happen. But are we certain everyone's going to be intact?
No,
you're giving Ronda a lot of free time.
We do know that Ronda's having a lot of free time during that time frame, but we also do know that the other 2 pieces of the 4 horsewomen that we haven't seen have been spotted on TV at least twice.
They're a full-fledged stable down in NXT.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're getting seasoning.
3 of them, right? Yeah. All 3 of them.
But we all know, even the casual fan knows.
That's the call up after Mania.
Wait. When is Evolution? When is the next Evolution? Or when was it this year? Right before Survivor Series or right after? October. Could that be your main event of Evolution?
One of them. It could be a main event.
That's if we have Evolution. But
you think we're gonna have another women's pay-per-view and they're about to close WrestleMania?
I mean, that's gonna be technically the week that SmackDown goes on, or around the same time SmackDown goes on.
Who's in charge, Nola? Who's in charge, Nola? I'm in charge. women gonna be running shit. You just going to get they're gonna continue to have their own pay.
All right, so again, here's more ammunition to the Survivor Series prediction. That's the last pay-per-view before Survivor Series. So why don't you get all the smoke at Evolution?
I feel like if you're gonna do it, you should do it as an elimination tag match at Survivor Series. That's the best place for it. That's right in the midst of moving to Fox. That's the biggest thing you could do.
As long as it's not a celebration of the women's accomplishments like it was last year. Now you got that out the way. The first one's out the way. Let's go.
No, I'm with you. Survivor Series is my pick.
Let's go rap here real quick. So Onyx's first album. Classic,
right?
Commercial, sounds crispy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The second album, dark as fuck. Redman, first album, crispy, polished, shiny. The second album sounds like it was 2 years prior to, dark as fuck.
True.
DMX. Funny how all these are on Def Jam.
Dark as fuck.
First
second album.
Wait. DMX first album, dark as hell, but it's dark and hell is hot.
Come on, man.
But it's crispy. It's polished. It's crispy. The second album.
What? Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood.
Dark as fuck. Damien.
Even from the cover.
It's a continuation. I
get what you're saying, and I get your presentation.
Yeah.
Like you get more of the gritty presentation with the second one. I'm hoping that Evolution resembles more of a NXT takeover than a WWE house show, because that's what we got. On the first one.
It did feel like a house show.
It felt like a WWE house show. It was lit that way. They didn't spend a bunch of money on lighting or any video stuff.
Purple.
Just give me an NXT takeover. Give me that.
NXT takeover, women.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Ladies night. NXT takeover. Ladies night.
Right.
But we it's gonna have to be some women going back down to Orlando to get some fine tuning, because like last year, I don't know if it was nerves or what have you. But yeah, there was some things that wouldn't be as polished as what we would see on the NXT takeover.
Have you seen Ronda in the last 48 hours?
Ronda look like she gonna hurt somebody every time she come out the box.
There's a lot of things that probably could be polished with her, but
I keep feeling like Ronda is going to break.
When they're over, you just gotta go with it.
Yeah.
Someone gets their arm broken on accident, so what? Work through it. The guys do. Equal rights means equal rights.
If she dies, she dies.
If she dies, she dies. I'm trying to see a cage match.
Mark my words. Ronda is going to break Becky Lynch's arm by accident on purpose at WrestleMania if they fight.
Speaking of Becky Lynch,
There's going to be some shoot punches thrown.
Somebody get punched in the throat.
That's a wonderful segue. Becky comes in the Royal Rumble, taking Lana's spot. Lana came in at 28, did not make it to the ring. After 30 was already in the ring, Becky decides to come out and talk to her countryman,
her dad.
Finley. her work pops.
It's not nepotism, but like it's got to be some type of
nepotism involved.
This needs to be in the angle. It somehow, some way.
It won't.
Finley must come out.
It won't be.
It won't be. He gives the blessing,
and we won't.
There you go.
We won't get the Irish, and we won't get the Irish celebration at the end of WrestleMania with Finn and Becky either, because Finn's gonna be in the pre-show.
And if we get that, then it's going to be with Hornswoggle too. At any rate, Becky ends up winning.
Hornswoggle is only Irish by association.
Swoggle.
Young Swaggly.
Tadrick is not Irish.
Tadrick. Whoa. Tadrick.
We will not do a Wisconsin that way, boy.
That's hilarious.
We don't do that. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles.
Yawn.
Let me tell you something, man. These two, they give.
This match needed a stipulation.
They give clinics. This one was no exception, and it had no luster. 25 minutes worth of action with no shine.
You needed a stipulation on this. You needed like a street fight, a ladder match. You needed something to add,
but
a level of intrigue.
So here's what's crazy about this: we got 25 minutes on this match. And we only found out why all this happened the way that it did tonight on SmackDown, which we'll definitely get to. We'll come around to that.
I got one word for you. It's hemp.
Not the smokable kind either. Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor. We called it. A broken pencil logic was applied here.
It's an exhibition.
Wait a minute. Did we?
Yeah. Oh, we've been talking about this for months. The angle that was going to, if Finn Balor, whenever he touched Brock Lesnar, we've been talking about this for months.
Oh, okay. Did we call him winning?
No.
Did any of us vote for him to win?
No.
Yes.
We
did.
I feel like we did.
We all were like, yeah.
They're gonna give it to Finn.
They're gonna give it to Finn. Like this is the start of like something different.
Finn's push. Hey, they threw us off with Descent with NXT UK.
Because we even went to as far as to say we booked Finn Balor in WrestleMania as the champion
against Seth Rollins.
No, we actually booked him against Drew McIntyre.
Oh well, there.
Yeah.
God, man, we
so far away.
The last 3 episodes have just we need to go back.
I mean. This
was wanting, but it was not logical.
We fantasy booked.
This is why the pencil gets broken so much. Like we shit right here.
We fantasy booked.
Broke off on that.
Because for the last year, to be perfectly honest, for the last year we have known it was going to be Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar.
And then finally
for 6 months in print.
And then finally for the men's Royal Rumble match. We didn't get any surprise. Double J was the biggest surprise that we got.
Anticlimactic as hell.
But I must say, we popped over here for
what surprise?
Nia Jax.
No, that wasn't a surprise.
That's a surprise.
That's a curveball.
Did you see her coming out?
Did she eliminate somebody? A surprise is something you expect. What do you mean that you don't expect that you actually like?
You expected Nia Jax to come out.
No. That you actually like.
I didn't like Jay.
You know what? I don't dislike what they did with Nia Jax. I would have been cool. You could have done that exact same thing at 22.
True. Now, I hate to be super smart, whatever we want to call it. Well, why wouldn't you have finally thrown Abyss into the Royal Rumble when you had him available to do so?
Because he's Abyss.
We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time to be making all type of grandiose debuts.
It's better than
fam, you want what are we gonna do with after him? After he comes out in the Royal Rumble, what do we do with him?
I'll tell you.
Wait. Here's the part that really it just dawned on me. No Lars Sullivan.
Well, no, he
they've even pulled his promos off of Raw.
But I'm saying Okay.
I mean, that boy got some serious issues. And shout out to Lars. If you ever happen to listen to this, I want you to get better so you can come out and kill people like you need to.
True.
Like
Facts.
Like, and no joke, mental health is a real thing.
I want you to be mentally and physically healthy.
If you were
Absolutely.
nervous, be nervous. But I would rather you be nervous and go back down to NXT and kill things than get out on the main roster and they do you like, say, what's that boy name? That was kicking babies into the crowd.
Snitsky.
Oh
There you
my
go.
God.
Yeah, I don't
Gene
want Lars
Snitsky.
Sullivan to be Gene Snitsky. No offense to Snitsky, he was cool in real life, but like his character on TV was horrible. And
That's pretty much. Well, that's kind of.
that's Lars Sullivan.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got the weekend out the way. And then we come into Monday Night Raw.
All right.
And then we get some pew pew shots fired.
It's
Then we all
officially
fall
WrestleMania
down.
season. The promo, for some reason, some of the promos get better.
And Dean Ambrose came out the gate.
Shooting.
He had a pistol. It wasn't a semi-auto. It was a pistol. He had to cock the revolver, the hammer on the revolver.
Yeah.
He had a
Throw a
handgun,
handgun.
but he was walking up on people.
Point blank period.
The barrel was pretty large on it though. Pause. And
Hand cannon.
he tried to sit there and have a really heartfelt moment, and it fell flat only because I guess he pissed off Mr. Triple H.
And I think this is all by design.
And I mean, do you think we ever get to hear it? Because
Nah.
after the news, it doesn't matter anymore.
Nah, you're not gonna get a heartfelt moment. You're not gonna get that Kevin Owens quit moment. I don't think he'll open up like that anymore. It's like it's straight character now. He's gonna ride out WrestleMania
Business as
season,
usual.
and then it's business as usual. He'll wrap up, do his business, and be on his way out, and probably soon thereafter sign his contract with AEW
And we find
or
out
Ring of
today-
Honor or Lucha Underground, because Dean Ambrose could do whatever he wants. Cody has given the template for Dean Ambrose to go out and triple his value in 12 months.
Cody has given everybody who is already a household name the blueprint to go triple. He's also given people who believe enough in themselves to go out there that if they have a following and go and quadruple or exponentially increase their value.
I feel like this time next year, Dean Ambrose will be 3 times as valuable as he is right now.
Yeah.
What else did we get coming out of Raw? We got Leo Rush acting that ass as usual.
MVP of the mic is
On the low. Like it's like one of these things where like if you vote him in for MVP, you're not mad. You're just gonna be like, yeah, you know what? You right.
Lashley.
Leo putting this game together. I want to see Lashley versus Lesnar more now than I've ever have.
It should happen.
It has to happen, and it's probably not. And
Come
that's the
on,
part that makes me
Paul
upset.
versus Leo
Oh, definitely.
without Paul's guidance.
Yeah. Without.
These
Paul's
are things that we want on television.
Book it.
It's not gonna
Use our
happen.
pencils. We will break one for you.
It's not gonna happen.
Lesnar, with as the Petty Messiah called it, created character F5s
Oh, yeah.
Bruh.
on Seth Rollins to. Seth Rollins gets voluntold into his title match after taking 5 restaurant quality F5s.
Restaurant quality. That's a good one. I like that.
la
Restaurant
carte.
quality.
a la carte.
In different styles. Every time.
Different sauces on each pasta.
And number 4,
Gave him the Olive Garden.
number
treatment.
4,
Kick to the ding.
Endless pasta.
In this breadsticks.
Breadsticks, endless pasta, breadsticks, and soup.
Sweet tea.
Man.
understand number 4 had to
Organic
be
sweet
probably
tea.
the worst F5 taken by any man, vegetable, mineral, or animal.
DID. Dick in dirt.
Yeah, what else? Is that it? Pretty much all that we. Oh, and Elias is heel again. Is that pretty much all that we got out of Raw?
Elias
night?
is a new big show.
What the heel face that no one gives a shit about?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Right.
he could just come out and just sing to people. They'd be like, yeah, boom.
Yeah, I feel like they might be turning him heel because they finally got clearance on The Rock showing up.
I was just about to say that.
I feel like that has to be the only reason. That and the fact that his face turn has failed because they haven't given him anything to do as a face. Just like Dean Ambrose, his heel turn failed because you didn't give him heel stuff to do.
No. What else is he gonna do but fight with his brother?
Speaking of Raw, I'll tell you one thing that we normally get after WrestleMania, after Royal Rumble that we didn't get tonight. Our first Hall of Fame entry.
You're right.
Do they usually start that after the Royal
They
Rumble?
usually started right after the Rumble.
Is it this early? Like the Raw afterwards?
I mean, we got 9 weeks till Mania.
How many people are gonna go in?
Usually it's 10. So every once in a while they'll announce like 2 people in one episode of Raw, or because like CBS or Yahoo Sports or Bleacher Report will announce it first, so they kind of piggyback off of the announcement going to one of these other social media outlets.
Mm-hmm. Who headlines though?
This year?
Who do you think? Like
Only because of the starting this location for where he started, and the fact that he is pretty much the staple that has been the WWE for the last almost 30 years. Undertaker.
Is this year he retires?
If he goes in the Hall of Fame, it's official that he retires.
You think?
But we already have seen that there are currently no plans for the Undertaker, and I don't think they're going to make any plans.
I mean, last year I think that was just impromptu. I don't see any plans for him.
I'm not ready to sign off on that yet.
What? Yeah. What? There you go. Break your pencil. What do you see?
And then retire, which he should do.
Ray. Oh, they said Ray. I'm like, what?
No. So he can get lawn darted? No.
Honestly, I think Bray's too big, man. I think Bray's too big for him to have a decent match.
Yeah, it's got to be a small guy. You know what I heard rumored, but I like the idea, but I don't, because you got to turn somebody heel to make this happen. Balor as the Demon, and I know it sucks that every time we bring up Balor on the show, we have to make him the Demon.
Yeah, I mean,
that's like, come on, bro, that's easy.
But you do realize that's going to be another L for Taker at Mania.
I don't care.
You already got the one. The Mystique is,
and it's not a guaranteed L.
Nope.
Because you can book your way out of it. Because you can have the match go on, and then you can debut Aleister Black during that match and have Balor take the L.
One old school characteristic of an old school wrestler is go out and leave the place better than when you came in.
He did that for Roman,
but he did not leave the place better than when he came in.
Whose rules are we following? We have a champion that doesn't show up but every 12 weeks.
We're following Taker's rules here. Because he's the only one that could make this call.
If that's the case, he shouldn't have come back to beat Cena.
That's that. So we saw 2 L's.
If that's the case, he should have stayed out when Brock beat him.
Ding ding.
But Brock also wasn't.
You should have 5 L's at WrestleMania.
Brock wasn't a younger talent. Brock was younger than Taker, but he wasn't a younger talent.
Bray was at 31.
Orton wouldn't qualify either because Orton's already had the belt 14 or 13
Then he should have put Bray over.
Bray was at 31. Bray was the young talent. He didn't put him over.
You could have stopped then, fam.
So we're basically making these rules up as we go along. He put over who he put over, and Vince has the final say on this stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So have this match. Look, I want Mystique. I want matches that should happen. So Balor can work and do everything and have a match with Taker, because Balor can do all the air quotes heavy lifting,
which then involves all the heavy jumping. Because
the heavy jumping, all the running. Taker can work big man style. He can work like Andre, basically.
He can throw him.
And then you always have something. You can sprinkle in Bray Wyatt. You can sprinkle in Aleister Black, because you have these similar styled characters that, hover around devil worship and darkness and all this other kind of stuff. You can sprinkle them in and throw in some schmaz.
Is that stable?
They're not smart enough.
If that's a Devil's 3, is that what?
So
they're not smart enough.
Taker giving them the blessing?
We know.
I wish, but no.
That's you give Suave applied for this position before.
I did.
And if he was actually given the pen to sign the contract to take the pencil,
this is a true statement.
This is what would have happened.
They should have been
that being said, we know after what we saw on SmackDown that is at least a couple of years off. Because of who was in the final segment.
Birds of a feather, bro. I mean, for me, in my mind, a lot of this stuff isn't difficult, because all of these characters mesh well. They all come together. They all make sense. They all, they all drink at the same.
The problem
they drink at the
is,
same bar. They all work out at the same gym.
The problem is your logic is actually too logical to make perfect sense in an imperfect world.
This is the same company that had the Ministry of Darkness at one point.
I agree.
The corporate ministry.
The corporate ministry, the Ministry of Darkness, all of that. This has all happened before.
You had the DOA.
Midian.
You had Sons of Anarchy 10 years before it was a show.
Yeah,
right.
You had Sons of Anarchy, you had the Latin Kings, and you had the 5% Nation of Islam.
Whole lot of gang shit.
That's it. Whole lot of gang shit. Whole lot of gang shit. So if all these people are going to be mystical, dark creatures and all have ties to, either they all have ties to one side or the other of worship.
Yeah.
So why not?
Makes all sense.
They should all have issues based on their belief. They should be beefing over religion, basically.
Undertaker could have had his own acolyte in the form of Kevin Thorne,
and then the Undertaker has to co-sign one of them. Hell, you could do that. You could put all three of them in a triple threat.
I'm just saying.
Aleister Black versus the Demon versus Bray Wyatt, and the Undertaker's going to choose his successor. So he's going to interfere in the match, and who he interferes on behalf of is who he picks to be the next guy.
They automatically lose though, unless there's unless there's no DQ.
Of course, it's no DQ.
It has to be no DQ.
WWE presents.
It's gonna be like a House of Horrors type thing. What are you doing?
I mean, they did that though, and it was
whack. Terrible.
So whack.
We're going to pay homage where homage is owed.
To who? Jack Tunney?
No.
Jack Tunney doesn't get enough respect.
There's only one person tonight that deserves.
Jack Tunney.
Gorilla Monsoon.
No.
Bobby Heenan.
The MVP on the stick this week, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh God.
From Huntington Beach, California.
Sting?
Tito Ortiz?
Yeah, for real.
Oh,
Sting's from Venice Beach.
He's a bad man.
Rikishi?
EC3? What are you doing?
Brian, everybody out here talking about waiting in lines, asking for permission. I ain't asking for permission. I came to put a champion to sleep.
Courtesy of WWE.com, we have, ladies and gentlemen, Samoa Joe.
Win it all.
It all falls down.
My way, and trust me, Randy, I know I need to size up with you, and when I defang the Viper, trust me, ain't gonna come from nowhere. Jeff, I already put you out. I don't even know why you're out here right now. Keep on talking. Hey, do me a favor. Why don't you act like this is an AA meeting and you shut your mouth while I'm sharing with the group?
That's the line of 2019.
And Mustafa, you out here a boy among men. And I'm going to tell you what. You got lucky at the Rumble, so I know you're going to come out here and run your mouth about how bad you are. But let me give you a little bit of a reality check. You see, Mustafa, you said that my eyes don't lie. Well, your eyes don't lie either, because last week, they were closed real tight when I put your simple ass to sleep.
And that's that. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you shoot a Scud missile in a main event promo. Jesus Christ.
Why is this guy not champion?
It ain't enough belts.
So if he asked in that go area, give me the green light and I'm going to shoot for the moon, and he goes out there and lands this home run the way that he did, how do you not find a way to get a strap on him, a major one at that?
Because he doesn't look like what you want to put on a poster.
Hey, Vince let him come out there without a t-shirt on. That within itself is an accomplishment.
There ain't enough belts, man.
We don't want enough belts. We want one of the belts.
There ain't enough.
He got two.
Belts.
He got two.
Well, one champion doesn't show up, but once every quarter moon.
And we about to get that to the boy that does show up every week. He burns it down. We gonna give him that.
And how long he going to get to keep that?
I don't know.
Until he burns out. Because the last time that's exactly what happened.
Right. There you go.
Look at my face. My face is one of this disbelief.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
His squad was giving us the motherfucker please face.
Yeah, I'm not here for this shit.
You don't think he gonna keep it the whole year?
Hell no.
Who gonna take it from now?
Drew McIntyre.
McIntyre is built for that title.
So Seth Rollins is a transitional champion.
I got McIntyre as champ at SummerSlam.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Shit.
Transitional.
That's the Roman Reigns championship run right there.
Words you don't want to hear.
Reason I say this, with Seth Rollins as your flagship champion, name his challengers.
Right now or in the past?
No,
Period.
yeah. If and when he wins at WrestleMania, which I say win, but I'm saying just in case. But yeah,
Balor's by far the first.
Okay,
Ambrose is gone.
Right.
But so let's focus on what we do have.
Yeah,
we know Balor is the first.
Lashley is the champion.
Lashley will lose that belt. Lashley is the second.
Okay.
Lashley's fighting him for the belt, by the way. That's
okay.
Fine. They building that seed.
Yeah, just name off your challengers. Balor, Lashley. Keep going. McIntyre's at the end of that line, but go ahead.
Where do you? Oh,
just
God, Strowman.
Okay. There's Strowman. They've buried him beyond repair.
He's already lower mid card status.
They've completely dismantled the mystique that they built with him. But
Strowman
keep going.
The Intercontinental belt.
We have a returning Kevin Owens, but where does he land?
They've done that to death, but keep going.
Oh,
keep going.
Oh, wait, no, Elias is
as
a
heel.
challenger.
Well,
as a heel.
They've had really good matches.
They're planting that seed right now.
But wait.
He's not beating Rollins for the title, but that is a good
He's gonna
challenge.
fight him for
Let's
it.
talk about
Keep going.
Let's talk about the shovel though, because Elias and Strowman are now in the exact same tier of the card, and it's not a good tier to be in.
Okay, keep naming challengers. There's a point I have with this. Keep going. Who else you got? Give me another one.
Do we get a walking Brock Lesnar back for a rematch?
Maybe. Okay, Lesnar.
Let's go.
Keep going.
Who are you? Are we missing somebody that
You're probably missing someone, but that's not my point here.
Okay.
What's the point?
What's your point?
My point is, you see all these people we named off.
Ain't but 4 or 5 people.
4, 5, 6, however many we got.
What?
Name one of them that has a compelling story with Rollins.
Not one.
Not a one. So you just got
Wait, I take that back.
Balor.
There's only one. Balor. That's right.
Balor.
Compelling story.
You got a compelling story with Balor, but you just made Balor tap out to Lesnar. So you're not gonna have
It's
Balor
big
beat
ass
Rollins.
Brock Lesnar.
Then why sub it? Why sub him in? Why sub him in?
Because we don't want big ass Brock Lesnar and big ass Braun Strowman fighting for the belt.
Why? Why not? If
Big ass Braun Strowman is still technically hurt.
If there's no chance of Brock Lesnar losing the belt, why are we sacrificing the greater good and the greater glory of Finn Balor when you know you're about to change the belt at WrestleMania? So you have one compelling story for your champion. Mm-hmm. 1. 2, but it's been done. By the time you get to SummerSlam, you will have burnt him out. Because all he does is have great matches. There's no storytelling going on. You don't have a story for him. Who you do have a story for? Drew McIntyre as the chosen one.
Truth be told, I think that Seth would get more valued run as the IC champion than he would out of the WWE Universal Championship.
I want him on SmackDown.
that.
I don't even want to see him on Raw anymore. After he loses, I want to see him on SmackDown.
And which we have not seen yet.
Ding, ding.
Nice.
His as just a dartboard situation. His other compelling story is Roman Reigns.
Well, I honestly thought that after the information that we saw on Friday on Instagram that we were going to see him pop up at the Rumble. I'm glad we did not.
I don't want to see him till Fox.
I don't want to see him till they shut up talking about him.
They can't. He's a crutch. They are using him as a crutch, which sucks. But congratulations on being in Hobbs and Shaw alongside The Rock. Glad for that payday. And now Roman has a road out if they don't figure out what to do with him.
Samoan Dynasty. Speaking of,
go ahead, drop your
also coming out of the newsreel for this week.
Right.
Tonga Loa, son of Haku, brother of Tama Tonga, brother of Tonga Loa.
You just keep trying to bring Tonga Loa in. Tama is the one that's going to be in Orlando.
He said, "See you in Florida." Say that to Kushida.
Right.
Now, mind you, they do live in Florida. However, Tonga Loa has been in WWE as Camacho.
Right.
Tama Tonga has not been in WWE at all.
Right.
Does he go to NXT?
They throwing money around.
We shall see.
The Bullet Club, as we know it and love it and have experienced it, is dead. It's a completely different entity because the Elite is in AEW and the OGs are going after that bag.
I want to tell you something else I saw on New Japan on Access.
Gorillas of Destiny and NXT.
Jim Ross, before his last stint at Access, was calling a match from early in 2018 featuring one Bad Luck Fale. And Bad Luck Fale had visibly lost probably 25 to 30 pounds.
Yeah, Fale been on his grind. Shout out to Bad Luck Fale.
And he's moving fast.
Good.
He moves like Gallows right about now. And he never was a slouch.
I think if he comes to WWE, he's strictly a heater.
But Jim Ross said that people who do the work that Bad Luck Fale has done on their physique are trying to make it to the big paycheck.
Good.
There's only one place that's offering a big paycheck that we know can cash it, and that's the E.
It's actually two now, though.
There's a second one, but again, when this match was being called, it was before the announcement for AEW.
This is true.
That's your homeboy. You don't think they said
But
something?
yeah, like you don't think Ross
fam.
has intimate knowledge of what was going on with that?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
He was
sure.
he was actually connected to the rumors from the time they debuted.
Yeah,
Like he was a part of the brain trust, which we still don't know if he is or isn't.
Well, I mean, it's very possible that he could be because Jericho was part of that brain trust as well, and Jim Ross's contract has been expired by Access as of the beginning of this year.
He could be in talent relations
He could be somewhere.
somewhere.
Back onto SmackDown though.
Yeah.
So we had shots fired with Samoa Joe, which it's too early in the year to say best promo of the year, but this
He's the front runner.
Yeah.
You going to work hard
By
to get
and
up
large. By and large, you have to shoot real hard to get him off that pedestal. Anything else that we have coming out? We had the punch that was a straight shot from Becky Lynch to
There was some
Charlotte
really
Flair.
good punches thrown on Monday
you're my
and
friend.
Tuesday.
You can hit me in the face. It's okay.
Right. Yeah.
Just duff me one good time.
Yep. Yeah, don't pull your punch.
I'm trying to think. Was there anything else that we missed on SmackDown worth mentioning?
The hemp belt.
The belt.
That belt is amazing.
The hemp belt. Daniel Bryan had a show closing main event talking segment
23-minute segment
where he threw the WWE Championship in a trash can.
I like Shane Douglas.
Like he
Elijah Blaze.
chunked it. Like not let it go and let it fall. No, he trashed the belt.
Trashed it. Now, of course, it's an empty trash can, but still. And pulled out brand new
from a velvet bag
carried by Rowan, who is now being billed as a 6'8", 315-pound intellectual
sidebar.
who doesn't speak.
Sidebar. How many single name people are you going to bring out here to only recognize that they're going to be buried in a year?
I don't know whose shit that is. I don't know what that is about everyone having just one name.
Give me one person that has one name that after the first year was able to hold weight.
Sting.
Yep.
Sting was gone before his first year was up. Next caller. I'm talking about specifically in WWE.
I mean, you got to make specifics when you make statements like this, man.
And specifically in WWE.
Now I gotta think about it.
Because the only person right now that has legs as a single name person,
Earthquake.
Elias.
He said Earthquake.
Yeah. Tugboat.
No, definitely not Tugboat. Earthquake had more legs. Than
Earthquake got about a year and a half out of it.
Viscera.
Kane.
Wait.
Kane.
Okay, did Viscera hold the ECW belt?
Yep.
Okay.
But he was Big Daddy Vis when he did it. Big Daddy V. Kane is the answer to your question.
All right, so that's
Kane.
and
Christian.
Kane has been in
Christian Edge.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Y'all are digging deep.
But you asked the question
because
man.
we're not casual fans.
In the last 3 years.
Fuck the casual fan.
In the last 3 years?
It's the quote of the year.
Jesus Christ.
That's the quote of the year. Fuck the casual fan.
Ain't nobody gave now fuck
about the casual fan.
I can see Swab making a shirt right now that says casual fan with a middle finger in the middle of it.
You know I almost designed it. Hey, this Broken Pencil Logic merch will be designed. There will be a hashtag FTCF shirt. Fuck the casual fan.
Speaking of merch, plug.
Naomi.
She's a woman.
So
Doesn't matter.
So
You said name a wrestler.
Okay. Well,
Naomi. Oscar.
Yep.
there's another one.
Come on, fam.
But
I'm on a roll.
but Oscar was Oscar in Japan.
Bailey.
Bailey. Yeah, now we're just pulling up the.
Come on, fam.
Yeah, now we're just.
Now y'all are fucking with me.
Yeah,
You asked.
yeah.
Go,
You
go,
asked for
go
this.
Back, go back.
Cesaro.
No,
Sheamus.
Gable.
I think they still call him Chad though.
Yeah, they do.
no, fuck y'all, man. Hey, so
No, don't fuck me. Fuck the casual fan.
Hey, man, you did this to yourself.
You asked for this.
Oh,
Ziggler.
Dolph, that's Dolph Ziggler.
Elias.
Fandango.
That's successful.
He's here. He's
Harper.
cashing a check. Harper.
Successful. Wait, we
Yeah.
want successful.
Tag team champion.
No. JoJo.
Successful.
Does JoJo count?
Yes, she does.
Kalisto.
You stupid, man. You stupid.
Oh shit!
soft
Hey,
words.
you asked for this.
Go,
Maurice.
Marie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jose.
No, that's no.
Almas.
Page.
It's not Almas. It's now Andrade, and that's what I'm getting at. He's probably going to be the most successful of them all.
Rusev.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, fam.
Yeah.
You could have easily backed away from
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. You could have walked away.
Sheamus.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I
said
said Sheamus.
Sheamus twice.
Tamina.
Successful.
Now we're just scrolling up and down the roster,
Tamina
picking
Tamina's not
out
successful. She's
No.
still on the roster.
picking out
Never
one
on the
names.
belt.
Undertaker.
Undertaker. Always. Last 3 years it counts. He had a wrestling match for the last 3 years
my
and he won.
God. Yeah, you know what?
Next time you ask this question, really, really think about it.
Just know that we're gonna do the research when you ask these questions.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Continue.
You're free to do what you need.
Jazz Mac, Dre Satch, I know he's yelling at the fucking radio. He's an asshole. I know you're yelling some shit at me too. You're an asshole, Dre. And yes, when we make it to Vegas, we are making it for beers, and you have the first round. That is, it's on you because you're yelling at the radio right now.
Ha. I'm just saying we did it.
So back on to your point.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What was your point?
I don't know. What was the last thing
You
you were
just start
talking about?
screaming names because
Yeah, you just start screaming names.
Y'all
I just like to say that the Royal Rumble is officially my favorite pay-per-view over WrestleMania for what it can be. Even though this particular Royal Rumble
It fell flat.
fell flat, what the Royal Rumble creates as far as a live atmosphere,
The fun factor.
the
is
fun
there.
factor. If you give me a choice of which one to go to, I'm probably going to go to WrestleMania. Especially, I love them as stadium shows. The only problem I have with them being stadium shows is the way the crowd noise goes up into the dome and then back down. You don't necessarily know what's over and what's not.
Right.
That's my only problem with it. But other than that, I love the Royal Rumble in stadium shows. It's my favorite pay-per-view.
There's no other pay-per-view out there that can give you the element of surprise or give you the potential for the element of surprise like the Royal Rumble can.
Right.
And I totally
just
agree.
love the crowd.
That too. The
I love
the crowd with the
from the Rumble.
countdown.
Well,
That is great. I love the crowd.
And look, the crowd you've gotten in Phoenix post Royal Rumble rival post WrestleMania crowds.
And I thought it was a joke when you said that until I started
I was
watching it.
dead
They
ass serious.
hijacked the whole show.
Both shows.
When Raw is going on and trade sites are actually like touting how crazy the crowd is and how the energy is, that's a pretty phenomenal feat considering WrestleMania is still 2.5 months away.
Those travel packages matter. Hell, they're a little less expensive for Royal Rumble. Everyone can't go to WrestleMania. Not everybody wants to sit outside in MetLife Stadium and freeze to death.
Right. It's a gamble, baby.
You don't get as, and then with WrestleMania you get a lot of forced booking. You don't get it. You don't have a lot of forced booking at a Royal Rumble. You just have like, hey,
Here's
you know who the winner's going to be. You probably knew who that was 6 months ahead of time, and then you're there for the surprises. You're there to see the story unfold. It's a better storytelling pay-per-view. The WrestleMania is a whole lot of forced shit.
Like, we know Becky's going to win at WrestleMania.
That's it. You know that's how the show is going off the air.
And I can't wait till they finally get it over with.
And if Becky doesn't win and
Then
close the show
I will
holding the belt,
rejoice with the glee.
you will rejoice. MetLife Stadium will riot.
Boo horribly.
Will riot.
Aside from the promo from Joe and the unveiling of the new hemp wooden belt.
Hip hip hooray!
I knew it was coming.
Yeah. Yes.
The biggest sleeper of the weekend.
Hip hip hooray!
Was R-Truth, your new U.S. champion and the worst 3 count in the history of bad 3 counts.
But I called it.
Botch, biggity, botch, biggity, botch.
I called it.
Frank Botch.
The funk boy.
Simon Botch.
Another botch in the belt.
Botulism. That's right. It's a real thing.
It is.
He's trying to find one. Look at his face.
No, I thought I heard a baby or something. Because we out here in the sports parking lot, kids be walking by
Baby Botch.
at midnight 30.
Selling ginger beers, midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Hot chips and gin.
I figured we get all this shout out. Hey man, I think that's pretty solid rundown of the weekend. Because
Oh man,
is there any other news that we missed?
Ember Moon injured her elbow. She's
Out.
She's out of WrestleMania.
52 minutes. 52 minutes in the Rumble, and she's out of Mania.
can we give the drummer some? Ember Moon's
That's
out there
Dallas,
doing
fam.
all the work.
D-Tex show.
All the work. Get well soon. I'm gonna take care of you when you get home.
Dean Ambrose is not re-signing.
Dean Ambrose is out of here.
He's out of
Sad
here in
about
April.
that. He is an FBI agent.
He might as well go ahead and write in the air AEW while spitting on Vince.
You know what? Giving him a live camera. If he wraps up at WrestleMania, giving him a live camera might be the greatest thing to ever happen.
The best thing the WWE can do is keep him off TV.
The best thing they can do is keep him on TV.
On TV,
and
fam.
capitalize on the viewership.
Because they just waiting to see
Give
what
him
type
a
of
microphone.
nonsense.
Give him a microphone every week until it's time for him to go and cash in on the viewership.
Do you mute the microphone though?
Never
You
do
always have
mic.
that part. You always have that option
Carte
if he
blanche
goes too far.
to do that. Yeah.
I mean, or
No Bray
you
Wyatt.
convince him to resign.
No Bray Wyatt equals no bueno for me. I
Well,
like that.
I mean, for WWE to announce that he's not going to resign means that all parties involved have closed the door on re-signing him.
But okay, put it like this:
Or we
WrestleMania
work.
34 was supposed to be Brock's last date.
Right?
Then he ended up working the Greatest Royal Rumble and some other stuff. So nothing's ever done.
Nothing's ever done until it's done.
Right. So if you give him, proper story, you give him some good creative and a big old bag of money,
Hold on.
he might not leave.
Ziggler did the same thing last year.
He does the same thing every
Ziggler
year.
did the same thing every year, and rumor has it that he's not re-signing either.
His last day is what, 2 days from
2 days
now?
from now, Thursday.
He's supposed to wrap up 2 days from now, and he wasn't on Raw.
Well,
And the
So-
fact that he was at the Rumble
And he's got a comedy tour about to start, so he don't necessarily have to do anything.
3 months, and in fact, that gives him
That's
90 days.
that's 90 days before you see Nick Nemeth
So I'm saying,
kicking people in the face.
so he could finish his comedy tour and walk right to Vegas.
All right. Petty Messiah, you are rocking a very fly hoodie there, sir. Go ahead and plug it.
Kings of Cool online. This is the Panda Fresh hoodie. It is available right now for your love, for your attention. KingsofCoolOnline.com. Go
Spell
get
it.
One.
Cha-ching.
KINGSOFKOOL
Cool with a K.
online.com. 2 K's, no C's.
Sounds real thuggish to me.
Sounds
there, sir.
like some affiliations going on right
Hey
there.
man, we are in no.
Like, I'm not here to judge.
It's all black and white, man. It's all black and white.
Got a rhetorical
I
question.
think that what's up?
How does Eric Rowan debut back on TV before any member of the Wyatt family? And he was the one that left TV due to injury?
How is it that his name is Rowan and they're announcing him at 315 pounds and it looked like he ate himself while he was out? And did you notice that the O in Rowan is the recyclable logo?
That was hilarious.
Spinning around?
So
My house
has
popped for
anybody
that.
noticed that this is the straight edge society all over?
2.0.
2.0.
It's gonna work like gangbusters. Wait until the woman debuts.
Bruh,
Who's gonna be the woman? Let Nikki play.
Let Nikki play. Nikki. We didn't even talk about Nikki in the Royal Rumble.
Nikki Cross in the Royal Rumble.
The
was
greatness that is Nikki.
Not one member of Sanity was in the Rumble.
That's crazy.
Ooh.
Nikki was.
That's a glaring omission is what we call that. Not one member of Sanity was in the tag team 4-way tonight for the #1 contendership.
Garbage.
True.
What are we doing? New era.
Biding our time until we have somebody else holding the belt.
Nah, that's trash.
That's what's happening.
Did anybody see the Chronicle on WrestleMania 34?
Not yet. That's actually on my to watch list tonight.
It's very dope. And
so answer me this: what was the deal behind Brock throwing the belt at Vince?
They don't explain it.
Oh, that's dumbass shit.
They don't go into it. They show it happening. They don't explain anything that went into it.
You call a man
or
an
after.
asshole and you record it and show it to the masses. You need to suckers got to know. Suckers needs to know.
When you only give that part of the footage, it's just like, I mean, come on, bro. If you're not going to explain it, then don't even go into it. However, there's a promo with Roman in the trainer's room after WrestleMania. If they had shown the public that promo right after WrestleMania, he'd have been a face right then.
Word.
Roman.
And that was after Lesnar, right?
Yeah, after getting split open, after they sewed him up and stapled him, stapled him, and glued him. So they explained how many different levels of cuts he had and everything he went through. You hear him speak. If the WWE Universe had been shown that footage the night
en
after,
masse, yeah.
Instead of him walking to the ring and cutting a promo, show that, he's over. There's no more booing.
And just like that, take us to the house. Brought on BrokenpencilBC on all things social. BrokenpencilBC@gmail.com. Email still there. Website still coming. Broken Pencil Logic. You can't write this. Folk like Shorty. Mark my words. And with the shit, those are the hashtags. Now, Swab, take us to the house.
Pencil pushers. Heads up. Pencils down.
Hip hip.
Hooray!